So we just arrived at the Omaha downtown. You can see the downtown there, and we are at the CHI Center Health Center Arena. And outside, we are all standing in the line, waiting for the doors to open. And they provide a free coffee by Pilot. Pilot is owned by, obviously, Berkshire Hathaway. So we are about to enter. So it's 7 o'clock now. We are heading towards the gate. This is on the left side is the CHI arena inside in the Omaha downtown. So now I'm inside the arena, and you'll be surprised to see that they have everything that you need for a morning, like food bar and muffins and peanuts, anything, plus all kinds of drink, juices, sodas, water. So you actually don't need to bring anything inside. Just come empty-handed, and you will be fine, right? So, and then they have a chargers also. So it's amazing how they take care of their shareholders. They have charger for everybody. That's
Warren, we have a little surprise there for you. If you look up to the right, you'll see a jersey and a number. We're retiring.
This is not my show today, but there are two. There are two anniversaries that we're going to celebrate. Generously call a refreshment, which they voted, and you couldn't have made a better decision. They did it unanimously. It was a surprise to all the board when I announced it last year, except for Susie and Howie. That's been 100% successful. Greg is doing everything I did and then some, and he's doing it better in all cases, and he's the right person. So that decision, we score 100% on. But there's another anniversary today that I'd like to spend just a minute telling you about, because about 10 years ago, we made a commitment to essentially move 10% of the resources of Berkshire Hathaway. We turned it over to a person who was not that well known at the time. And we did that by spending roughly $35 billion buying stock in Apple Corp. And we were going to have that under the management. We're turning that money over to the management, essentially, of Apple to make Berkshire look good, and without any work by us, which is our preferred way of operating. And I would like to report that 10 years later, several things are happening. One is the $35 billion, counting dividends, realized appreciation, unrealized appreciation. But that was turned into $185 billion. And I didn't have to do a damn thing. So it's, you know, we're very big around here on having other people do the work and collect the money. But that has been a success, and we do look at marketable securities as being businesses. That doesn't mean we hold all of them forever, but we still, our largest holding is Apple. And Apple has a very interesting history that some of you may be familiar with. But one item is they're observing an anniversary themselves, I think just within the last week or so. They celebrated their 50th anniversary, and you know, 50 years seems like a long time, but Apple seems like a very new company. And when Tim Cook went into the top position at Apple, he succeeded a legend. Steve Jobs was, everybody in America knew his name. Not many people knew Tim's name. And Apple had this roller coaster experience where the two Steves had started in a garage or something 50 years earlier, and then I'm not sure how many of you know, but Steve was thrown out for a while. He came back in. He did these marvelous things in terms of developing products. And then he had an untimely death. And everybody said, who's going to manage Apple when Steve Jobs isn't around? And probably just a very few percentage points of American investors had even heard of Tim Cook. And we, in effect, Tim took over about 14 years ago when Steve died. But when we made our investment and turned over 10% of the resources of Berkshire, we were turning it over to Tim. And as I say, he has turned that into 185 billion or something pre-tax, which we won't bother to compare to our record with. But Tim has announced that he's retiring as well. That's an announcement that's just been made in the last couple of years. And so I think it's appropriate if Tim would take a bow and our shareholders would say thanks to him. Thank you, Tim, and I'm going to turn things back to Greg.
Thank you, Warren. Seat remains open. Thank you, Warren. BNSF is 41 books. The original price we bought it at, because that is our cash and U.S. Treasury sitting there at the end of March. We bought the treasuries right before the end of March, and the payable, i.e. the fact appreciated taking on that senior role. Welcome, Ajit. Ajit, if you don't mind, I'll start with, I touched on Tokyo Marine, an exceptional transaction, exceptional relationship. I know you've built over many years with the Tokyo Marine management team, but if you could just expand on that strategic transaction and relationship, we'll love to start with that.
This for the last couple of years. We've tried year after year to try get a relationship going with Tokyo Marine and Fire. Springboard for both of us to move on to the next plateau.
Okay, my question is, as a young investor navigating both uncertainty and rapid technology change, I often struggle to balance patience with action. How would you personally distinguish between the two?
I think one of our greatest strengths at Berkshire is patience and being disciplined when it comes to allocating our capital. There will be opportunities that come over time and for yourself. And it doesn't mean there's not opportunities now, but it doesn't mean you need to deploy all your capital or spend all your money right now. And that's really our approach. We take every day and we recognize we've got a significant asset in our cash and U.S. Treasuries, using it as ourselves as an example. And I would think of the cash you're holding as that. And that's an asset. It's a great opportunity. You'll feel the moment or feel there's a strong value proposition with an opportunity. When do we see those? We've outlined our investment philosophy